In the game of loans, you either win or you learn. Welcome to the game of loans, where fortunes are forged and empires are built. Your hosts, lords of lending and wholesaling, are here to guide you through the realm of real estate and wealth building. Brace yourselves, cash flow is coming. Episode 18 of the Game of Loans. I have my friend Kevin Trinh, all the way from San Diego, on this podcast. He was supposed to come and visit us live, but we couldn't get that done, so we decided the next best thing, and we're going to do this virtually, which is fine.
Bro, I'm still going to make an effort to come back out there and visit you in Nashville.
Yeah, we'd love it. We'd love it. Or I could always come out to San Diego and we could shoot something there.
Welcome anytime, brother.
Yeah, I'd love to. So, Kevin, I know what you do. You tell our audience, what it is exactly that you do. A little bit of a background on, what you do, and also, then I'll ask you how you got into this business.
Right. So, for a lot of you guys who don't know me, my name is Kevin Trinh. I am currently an educator in the space of the ADU, which is a real estate investing program. I think a lot of you guys know about that. I've been in construction for the last 20 years. Don't let my face fool you. I'm 38.
Oh, you look young,
So
man.
construction, 20 years. I've been doing real estate investing for the last 8 years. And, really delve deep into this ADU play out here.
Yeah. For a lot of people, they don't know what an ADU is. Can you explain to them what an ADU is?
Of course. An ADU is essentially, it's an accessory dwelling unit. And for a lot of these play, it's basically a second smaller casita unit in the back. Granny flat is what we call it out here as well. And it allows you to kind of tie into the existing infrastructure of the home. So you don't have to go out and pull new utilities into the backyard for these dwelling units.
And what's the difference between an ADU and a DADU?
So the DADU is an ADU. And in some places, they call it DADU, stands for detached ADU.
Right.
Here we also have a JADU, which is a junior ADU, which is attached to the primary. So they're just different acronyms, but they're basically ADUs.
Everything is an ADU. But an attached would basically be part of the main house, and a detached would be its own separate, entity in the back. So I had actually talked about you, kind of, explaining that ADUs are a very big thing that are happening on the West Coast, especially places like California, Los Angeles, and now it's moved kind of in to San Diego, in an even bigger scale than it did in Los Angeles. Tell us a little bit about why that's happening.
Well, if you look at it from the standpoint right now, what's going on in the market, we have $6 to $7 million shortage of affordable housing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And people just can't afford to buy a house. And these areas such as San Diego, LA, Seattle, where it's dense, people are having problems finding a place to rent affordably. So, with that being said, the Housing Commission, and they are just trying to be creative and trying to figure out a way how to help people get into a good place to live and afford their house. Now, what other way is there to do it besides giving people the ability to go out there, invest, build, and provide these affordable housing? Right. Only the ADU play is really going to give you that. And to give to some context, ADU has been around forever, dude. I built ADUs for people back then when I first started doing construction 20 years ago, right? And these were smaller size. They were 400 or 500 square feet. Now it's up to 1,000 square feet. So it's just about, right now what the market is performing, and we already know that, 60% of household are 2 people or less, right? 48% are people of household of 3 or more. So the ADU play is just perfect.
I agree with you. Now, when you're putting up these ADUs, are there any
Mhm.
restrictions on how much rent you could charge on them?
On some of these plays, especially in San Diego, there is, because what we have here, we have something called the bonus program. And with that, you have to, basically give the San Diego Housing Commission, a subordination of the deed, and you have to do affordable rental on these. So there are some restriction guidelines for that, medium to lower average income. But even with the most lease amount, you're talking about $1,900 a month for per unit.
That's crazy.
That's great, dude. I mean, and then up to 2,500 average on a 2-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only in the great state of
Only in
California.
San Diego, buddy.
Only in California. Only in California would $1,900 and $2,500 rent be considered,
Yeah.
lower to
Medium.
medium housing. Like
Yeah.
everywhere else is like that's like fucking luxury housing. Like
It
it's
is.
just crazy. It's
It is
crazy.
crazy. And that's the reason why, a lot of people are taking advantage of the opportunity now, especially on the West Coast, right? And because if you look at it from perspective of housing cost, $1,000,000 is going to get you really
Nothing.
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 And
It's
you can't really burn it, or you can't really do anything that will add value except doing an ADU ad.
so do you know what the average home price is in the United States?
Roughly seven,
Average?
800,000.
No.
No.
Average home price, I think it's 400 and something thousand,
Oh, you're talking
426.
about the whole U.S. nation.
Yeah, yeah. California, it's $1,000,000.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
shy of a million. I think it's
Okay.
980,000.
Yeah, it's around 800,000, 900,000.
So, I was speaking, I did a thing, I did a reel, we did a reel about the minimum, like how much somebody could get into a house. And I had said,
Yeah.
you could purchase a house, come up with $15,000 and you get into a house.
Right.
And someone reaches out to me, goes, "Where, you're giving bad information." And they post a comment, "You're giving these people bad fucking information. You're lying to them. They can't buy a house with 15,000." So I said,
Yeah.
"Well, where do you live?" "I live in California." I go, "You're right, but California is not the country. And if you
That's
do the
correct.
numbers, 3% on $400,000 is $12,000.
Yeah.
3.5% is going to come out to $16,000, right? That's
Yeah.
what the fucking average is in the country. So I didn't lie. I'm talking, what is normal. You're not
You know
normal.
what?
California is not fucking normal.
It's not, man. I mean, our GDP alone is already most in most countries out there, right?
Yeah.
But, I think the funny part is that it's funny how you brought that up, because when you're educating people, and I'm on social media as well. So I do a lot of these posts and the content creation. And a lot of times when we talk about specifics, people forget that it's a whole entire US nation, right? It's
Mhm.
not just one specific area.
A lot of people forget that. And,
Yeah.
and especially, well, because like you said, California is probably larger than,
Yeah.
98% of the countries in the world, right? Their
Yeah.
GDP is
Yeah.
just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, what they do with that money, God knows, but, and we can,
Well, we hopefully soon will find out,
yeah,
right? But,
we can argue about that. But, at the end of the day, it's a country of its own. It's a
it
country of its
is.
own with and it's not representative of the United States. And
It's
somebody
not,
was
man.
saying, "Oh, but you're from New York. New York is the same." Absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
New York is not the same.
It's not the
It's
same.
because New York, it's just Manhattan that's fucking crazy, right?
Right.
And New York City, it's a little bit expensive, but outside of there, it's not like California where go up and down the coast. You're not buying anything in California for
No, man.
less than 750,000. It doesn't matter where you are. You're just not.
Yeah.
And it's not. There is no other state like it. And but I love the ADU game, that you're in.
Yeah,
I know we financed a couple of the properties that you
we
did,
did.
right? How did we do? Did we do well?
We're good, man. I mean, I love it. I love your guys' product. You guys were true to your words, and you guys get things done quick. And I love that, dude. It's very
Thank you.
important when you're doing real estate investing and closing on these deals, right? Speed matters.
I agree, and thank you for that. And we loved working with you.
Yeah,
And it's a two-way process, right?
it
A
is.
lot of people ask me, well, how long does it take to close a deal with you?
Yeah,
If I get a client like you, a week, or
yeah,
less.
yeah,
But some people just don't move. It's
yeah,
like, well, it took 45 days to close. Yeah, it's your fault.
yeah,
Not my fault.
yeah.
I could close. And I like to tell people, I like to fund loans as fast as you want to fund. You
Yeah,
want to do it, right? So
right.
I'm only as fast as the client,
That's true.
right? It's because it's not like it was 3 years ago where you can't get an appraisal back for 2 weeks because of the
Yeah,
freaking refi booms, right? We're
right,
getting
right.
appraisals back now, normal speeds 2, 3, 4 days,
2
right?
days. Yep,
Maximum. You
yep,
know, um, unless it's like some place in the boonies or it's some fucking type of property that's hard to appraise, and then maybe it takes us a week. But outside of that, how long is title taking? 4 days,
yeah. 4 days, 5 days.
5 days maximum.
Yeah,
So, and those are the two most important things. We want to see the title, right? Just to
yeah,
see, everything okay. Chain of title. Do you own the property, or are you buying the property? The guy selling it,
right,
or is there anything abnormal over there? Any liens that we should be worried about, or violations? That's important. We want the appraisal back. Make sure, is the property worth what we say it's worth, right? Because
right.
none of us know. You want to know
Yeah,
too, as someone that's buying the house. You want to make sure that the house is going to appraise, right?
yeah,
But outside of those things, which take in our business maximum maybe 5 to 6 days, everything else is on the client. Give me your bank statement, fill out your application, and let's
and
get to
the
work.
funny thing you said that is because a lot of times I think it does fall back on the borrower because borrower just needs to be honest. No BS.
Right? That's not, what do they say? Buyers are liars, right?
Yeah, buyers are liars.
Buyers are
They're
liars.
so worried about trying to get the loan done that they're trying to do whatever it takes, but, that only makes it more
Yeah.
complicated if things comes up certain way.
Always comes up.
Yeah,
So the thing is, I like that you say that, because what ends up happening is they only like to tell you what they think you want to know,
you wanna
and
hear.
they don't
Yeah,
fucking know what you want to
yeah,
know. I want to know everything because I'm going to find out, right?
right.
And with
Yep,
technology today, you find out one ding. I do a background check. I know
yeah,
everything. You
yep,
know. So when I ask somebody, do you have a crime? No, I didn't. I never. Okay, then you run a background check. Like, dude, didn't I ask you this? Like, now you paid for the appraisal. We've gone
yeah.
all the way down, and here you are. You have a rap
I know.
sheet,
Yep,
Like, why
yep,
wouldn't you just tell me and I could help you? We could talk
yep,
about different ways, Like,
yep.
you just wasted 10 days of everybody's time, right?
Bro, believe me, man, I get that, man. I always say, like, in real estate investing, like, the contractor, the GCs are the gatekeeper of the deals,
Yeah,
but the lenders are the key holder.
yeah.
They
I
hold
like
the
that.
key to get it done or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I'll tell.
so, you really have to build a relationship with your lender and especially letting them know if there's certain problems that comes up because otherwise they are on your side. They wanna get the deal done.
Yeah.
They
And then,
fund the deal, they make money.
and the other thing is, I like to tell people you want to go
Yeah.
to a good lender that's going to underwrite the deal correctly, right?
Sure. Sure.
Because you no matter what it is, even as an investor myself, sometimes I'll get emotionally involved in it,
Yes.
right? And I'll overlook certain things where
Right.
the lender is not going to, right? And
Right.
they're going to give you an honest analysis and tell you, hey, Kevin, man, like, I know you like this fucking deal, but it's
Yep.
not a good idea, all right?
Yep.
There
Yep.
are no comps. And then, Kevin, you're going to come back and say, but Steve, you don't know what's going to happen to this area in
Yeah.
18 months and this and that. Meanwhile, I got to keep you honest, right?
Yep.
I got to keep the other people honest and say, hey, maybe that's 18 months from now, but today, man, this shit's not making sense. Are you sure you want to go through this? You're not going to make any money. And, and there's so many times that I have basically not funded the deal or advised and said, don't do the deal. And
Yep.
someone will take it, go somewhere else, and some schmuck's
Yep.
going to give them the money. And then
Yep.
they'll come back and say, Steve, I wish I would have listened to you. I basically wasted 18 months. I'm lucky
Yep.
that I didn't lose my shirt,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I made nothing and I ended up losing a little bit. But worst is I lost 18 months of my life, and stress, you know?
That's true, man. A lot of people don't realize how much time and stress you put yourself into when you're doing these deals, you know? And there will be times where you won't close on a deal, and you just gotta get over it, dude.
Yeah.
It's just business at the end of the day. I mean, you just wanna make sure that you don't waste people's time, but you also gotta watch out for your own ass.
Yeah.
Right, I recently just exited out of a deal at the very last minute because we found out that certain things on their plans weren't really shovel ready. If I really dive in and close on the deal, I would have been stuck in there and handcuffed myself. And why would I wanna do that when I can go do other deals out there, build other ADUs,
Right.
you see? So, I mean, like, what you bring back to the point where you were saying is that don't be emotionally attached. That's also something that I educate people on when they're doing real estate investing. Dude, you're gonna be stuck in analysis paralysis and all this other crap if you really don't know your shit, right?
Yeah.
So, understanding that and knowing that don't be emotionally attached is huge, dude. So I like that you said
So I like to tell my wife,
that.
okay? I say, you're only allowed to be emotionally attached to one property, and that's
Uh,
the house that you live in.
true.
And that's it. And,
Yeah.
if you're living in there and I like to tell the story. When we first went to see the house, I was, working. I was going to see my wife there, and she was on the porch, and we have a swing on the front porch, and she was swinging away with a big smile.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, man, I am fucked. This is the house. This is it. There's no way she's already made memories,
Yeah.
And I let her, and I overpaid for the house at the time.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was okay because I knew it wasn't an investment of, where I'm looking to make money, right?
Yeah.
And that in the long run, I wasn't going to lose money. I was going to make money, because
That's the
land
beautiful
banking.
part of real estate, man.
Yeah. And that's okay in the primary, and,
Yeah.
and I tell people that you can, if you're looking to stay somewhere 7 to 10 years, even if you pay a little bit more or a little bit less, it doesn't really make a difference.
It doesn't
Unless,
make a difference.
because it's going to go up unless you're buying in the wrong place. And, so I allowed that to happen. I paid a little bit more than we should have, but
Right.
to make her happy, and you know what, it made sense. And here we are, 4 or 5 years later, and the house is worth significantly more.
Right.
But I agree with you when it comes to an investment property, right? And she gets crazy and she'll say, whatever it is. Oh my God, this one, it looks like this, and I tell her, no. This is not a house we're living in. This is a house we're
Right.
going to fix and we're going to
Right.
flip, or we're going to fix and we're going to rent. You can't get emotionally involved in this. Well,
No.
how are the schools? That's not up to me. That's up to the renter. And obviously I care, but
Yeah.
it's not, my kids aren't going there, right? And
Yeah.
so it's a different game, and you can't be emotionally attached and you can't be emotionally involved, or you're going to just lose your shirt either way. And I like to say, someone asked me one time, and I don't know if you're the same way. They said, "What is the best real estate deal that you've done?" And I said, "The best real estate deal I've ever done is a deal that I actually didn't do. It's one that I walked away from."
Yeah.
And that's important to know. And more than likely, if you're in the real estate game for a long time, that's going to be your answer, right?
That's gonna be the answer, bro.
That's going to be the
And
answer.
if you're able to walk away from a deal that you can potentially make millions on,
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be at the beginning of being you'll be able to work more freely
Mm-hmm.
You won't overly think things, you won't stress on things. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, there's plenty of deals out there,
Yeah.
man. But until you can get through that phase, bro, man, it's gonna be a tough stretch for you.
And that's the thing. You said something. You said there are going to be other deals out there. And that
Yes.
is what a lot of people don't understand.
They don't.
You can't, you cannot jump at every fucking opportunity that comes your way. You do that, it doesn't work. And, you can't be thirsty in real estate. I like to say that. If you're thirsty in real estate, you're going to lose your shirt, right?
Yep.
You've got to be, everything has to be numbers.
Yep.
And analysis. And if the numbers don't make sense, don't make the numbers make sense, right?
Yes.
It's like, dude, you're making 2 and 2, try to make it equal 5. But at the end of the fucking day, man, this shit's going to equal 4.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where I see a lot of real estate investors or potential real estate investors lose money, and
I agree, man.
and
the thing is that, the crazy part is that we live right now in a world where social media plays such a big role.
mm-hmm.
And you see everyone doing real estate investing. People are in stock, crypto. So people get involved into things they don't truly understand the scope and the business side of things, right? And they think they're gonna make money. Now, I see young people making great money, but it doesn't build great character and wisdom. And what happens is that when they're stuck in a certain problem, like what I just mentioned to you or what you're talking about, like understanding how to back out a deal, when that problem presents itself, they just don't know how to deal with it.
Nope.
And it takes people like you and someone like me who's been through it to educate these people to let them know that, hey, bro, this is the way you need to approach it. Right?
Well, Kevin, you want to know what frustrates me the most?
What, bro?
Is that you have these gurus.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That know nothing.
Yes.
About real estate. And then they're giving this bullshit advice to these poor people. And these guys are paying for for that stuff. And they're just telling them the shit that they know that these people want to hear. Right?
Yeah.
Just so that they can fucking make money off of them. And that is what hurts me. Right? And
I agree.
Believe it or not, it's like some of the best advice I give on social media is usually performs the worst. Want to know why? Because I talk reality, and I'm telling them to do exactly not what these fucking social media guys are telling them to do, right? And I'm going against them and saying, hey, don't buy the fucking Airbnb. Don't do that, because everybody else and their mothers is telling them, oh, Airbnb, short-term rental. No, fucking don't do that, right? What I love about you is that you are what I like to call an opportunist in real estate. You understand where the opportunity is today and where you live today.
Right.
And that is ADU. Now, is that what fucking Kevin's going to do 3 years from now? Maybe, if it's still going good. Or he's an opportunist and he's going to figure out, well, what's the next opportunity? I made a killing on the fucking ADUs because that was the opportunity. What's next? And I like that about you. And I like that about your business approach today, because
I appreciate that,
that's what it is, right? That's hot, right?
That's hot.
But is that going to be hot forever? Probably not.
Probably not. And that's the beautiful part about real estate investing too. It's like, there's so many different ways to make money in real estate investing.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I mean, the only reason why I'm diving so deep into ADU is because right now it's working in San Diego specifically with the bonus program. I mean, you can still make it work in other cities, right? You can still turn it into a 3-unit.
Yeah.
You might not get the kind of return as quickly,
right?
Because we're able to put 5, 10 units here in San Diego. Big difference.
Yeah.
But it still works. Now, I mean, I personally still do fix and flip. You know that because I got loans from you.
Yeah.
You're lending me money. But what I'm trying to get here is that there's real estate, there's fix and flip, there's wholesale, there's BRRRR method if you want to buy and hold long term.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have certain little things like ADU that you can utilize, right? So any of these can be into, making money in real estate investing.
Yeah.
That's why I love real estate investing. But you're right. I am an opportunist.
Yeah.
I take advantage of whatever I see is in front of me that can make money,
Yep.
and I go deep in that thing.
Correct.
I see a lot of people, they make the mistake of going wide. They try and do too many verticals.
Yep.
I think they wholesale, they do fix and flip, they do this, they do that. Dude, stick to one.
It's math. It's what do they call it? Oh my God, there's a term for that. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Trade.
Right? That's what they try to do. And that is a big fucking mistake in anything you want to do. Right? And I love the fact that you're just laser focused, right? And it was a really good book. It's called Who Moved My Cheese. I don't know if you've read it, right?
I haven't read that yet.
Okay, so read it. But it's great because what ends up happening is, like you said, you're an opportunist and you're a trend seeker, right? Yep. And right now you're trending towards fucking ADUs, right?
Yep.
When that ends, your cheese moved. And then you're going to move and say, hey, where did the cheese move in real estate?
Right.
And then you're going to go after the cheese. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't doing that. And I think, for instance, there's a lot of retail realtors whose cheese has moved.
Yeah.
And it's moved a long time ago, right? With the advent of all this crazy shit that's happening with social media and with just technology, it's moved.
Right.
But that cheese moved, and they're still sitting there waiting for the cheese, and it's like, dude, you're butting your head against the wall nonstop. It's gone.
Yep.
And unless you are a master at listings and that's your business, if you're in the retail game of real estate, you're pretty much fucked. So,
that ties back to a lot of things. It's not just real estate investing. I mean, in life in general. I mean, if you're doing something that works for a while and then all of a sudden something changes, you just gotta learn how to pivot. And most people don't pivot correctly.
They don't like to get out of their comfort zone.
That's correct.
Right? So they just like to stay in their comfort zone. And unless you change, you can't grow. And a lot of people don't realize that. Change is necessary. Adaptability and change is necessary in your life. Not just, not just real estate, in your life. And it's like, people are like, why didn't you stay in California? I tell them, I had to change. I had to reinvent myself. Me in California is not the same person. I'm not. 4 years ago till today, it's a completely different person. It's what Nashville did to me. It changed me.
Right.
It changed my strategies in life, right? And a lot of people, man, I'm from Long Island, right?
Yeah.
And my friends are still there, still living in the same town, doing the same shit, going to the same places, doing the exact things we were doing.
Yeah.
We're growing up. But then they wonder why their lives haven't changed. Well, motherfucker, you haven't changed the formula.
That's true.
Right? You're still doing fucking 2 + 2, expecting an outcome of 6. Yep. No, you're still getting 4, and you're wondering why you're getting 4.
And it's not just about pivoting in life and in real estate investing and other opportunities, but it's also about surrounding yourself with the right people also.
Yes.
Right? That's so huge, dude.
Massive.
Like for me, example, I mean, I have friends who are, like you said, stuck in the same place, and I would have been stuck in the same place if I didn't start reaching out and opening up to different doors and network. Right. So I choose to be out of my comfort zone and surround myself with people who are at a higher level, so I can listen, pick their brain, and see how I can elevate to the next level.
I love that. That's so important. I tell my kids even now, and they're young, I say, you are going to be who you hang out with. And if you look around who you're hanging out with and you don't like who those people are, guess what? You're that fucking person.
That's true, because you stay there.
You are that person.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to hang out and be that fucking person? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to elevate and always put yourself in the position where you want to be in real estate? Then you got to hang out with people in real estate. You can't, and I tell people that, well, how do I get into real estate? Well, what are you doing every day? Oh, I'm doing this. Well, motherfucker, what are you doing? If you want to get into real estate, hang out with people in real estate. You can't hang out with people that are, in technology, and then say, I want to do real estate. But with techie people, techie people, it's not, real estate, you know? Well, how do I get to be a lender? Well, go fucking work for a lender.
But that's so true, and that's the reason. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but I mean, I reached out to you way before you lend me money or become my lender. I was reaching out because we were talking about potentially doing different lending vehicle programs for
Yep.
the ADU.
Yep.
And so, like for me, like if I want to evolve and learn how to become a lender, I need to talk to someone like you in the lending space.
Correct.
Otherwise, I won't know how to do it correctly.
Correct. And then
Right.
and then when you do speak to me, then when you're in San Diego, hang around people who are lenders.
Right.
Learn from other people. So, it's so important. Everyone's like, oh, these fucking conventions, they're all bullshit. They're not bullshit. These conventions are bullshit. I love these. I love conventions that are specifically in the lending business. Why? I have so many friends, that I've made over the years, and we sit down for those 24, 48, 72 hours, and guess what? We might bullshit and have fun and fuck around,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we strategize and we talk
Exactly.
about different things. Hey,
Yep.
I'm trying to go after this particular, path. What do you think?
Right.
And they'll say,
Yep.
man, I did that. I wasted $250,000. Don't fucking do that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, okay, damn. And I respect the guy. He's been in the business as long as me. I'm not doing it. Or he'll say, I wasted $250,000. This is what I learned. If you're gonna do it, do X, Y, and Z. Right?
Yeah. No. Basically, it's just learning from their mistakes.
Correct.
Right? Either you do it or do it differently or do it better.
And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, people don't like to share information. You know who those people are? The haters.
The haters
are the ones that say that. Why? Because they don't like to fucking share, right?
True, bro.
But the majority of people I know, they're not haters. And
you know what I've noticed is that as I elevate to different levels and you start hanging out with more successful people, successful people love to collaborate and share
100%.
and help each other.
Yep. And that's why they're successful.
Exactly.
And that's why they're successful.
People who are stuck in that middle area, man, those are the people that keep holding it back, holding things in, not sharing, afraid that their secret sauce is going to be spilled out and everybody knows about it. Bro, there's always going to be someone doing better shit than you, man.
So I did a reel. It was on my friend who does Airbnbs now. He was in prison at some point. He had a lot of money, and his family would stay at like these shitholes. And when he got out of prison, he's like, fuck that. There's other people like me who made a ton who are still wealthy. They're in prison for different reasons, but their families don't want to stay. So he started creating really nice Airbnbs around prisons, right? Where people could stay. And so I did that, and I got one comment. Oh, your friend's gonna hate you. You should have never given the reason for his success away or something like that. I said, first of all, my friend is ultra successful, right? A. B. He's not a hater. Yeah. C. People only that are at your level think that way.
That's
like
correct.
What's he gonna do? Have buy up 100,000, 2 million fucking homes around prisons? Like, there's not enough for people to go around. Like, it's such a small-minded mentality that just keeps people small-minded, right?
That's correct, dude.
And when I responded to him, I got so many positive likes to that. Like, people saying, yeah, man, like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, like, why would you even say this? Like, and I said, that's the hater mentality. The only way you're going to get out of your own way is if you stop thinking that way, because you're probably hoarding ideas to yourself. I never hoard ideas, bro. Yeah. And this is the second podcast today, right? The one before, I was very free with giving him information about the ways I think that he could increase his business and the value of his business, for no other reason than I like the guy. I want him to be even more successful,
Right.
And win, because I love when people win. I fucking love it. I love when people win, and that's it. And I love that you're winning, really, honestly.
Man, I love that. And, it takes a certain type of people to want to truly help people and see people win. You're one of them. I mean, I'm becoming someone like that as well myself. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only make so much money and be so successful. You also got to think about giving back, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I'm building all this great wealth for my family, creating a generational wealth and leaving a legacy for my family. But how else can I do it to help others, right? And the only way I can do that is to share my knowledge and my experience. And
it's so
the one thing
important.
I wanna say is that I love what you're doing as well is because what you share on social media, I mean, it truly sounds authentic. It sounds like things from your own experience. And I do the same. When I share
Thank
stuff,
you.
it's truly from my own experience.
Yeah,
It's not scripted at all.
yeah,
A lot of these guys who are sharing stuff online, they're either scripted or they just regurgitate whatever's already out there.
yeah. Well, they're going.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing? They're not like me and you. They're going
Yep.
out there. They're saying, "Well, what got 2 million views? I'm going to
Mhm.
copy the same fucking shit that this guy said
Right.
and get my 2 million views." Right?
Yeah.
And for me, I'd rather not have 2
Yeah.
million followers. I'd rather have 40,000 followers that are my followers, right?
Right.
That listen to me. You know how many people, the gratification I get is when I wake up in the morning, right?
Mm.
And I will get messages from people and they'll say, I don't think you're going to respond to me because you're really busy, but I want to thank you for X, Y, and Z. And you know what I do?
Yep.
Bang! I respond to them. I go, I'm never too busy for you.
Yep.
And what do you need to know? And they get shocked. They're like, holy
Yep.
shit, this guy is like, and I tell them, I don't need to make money off of you. Just, I'm always here. Reach out, and I will always answer whatever it is to the
Bro.
best of my ability.
You're one of them. I have to say you're one of them. The actual one, I know you know of him too. He's one of them as well. He actually responds.
Yeah,
There's a few people that I know that also respond. I respond to DMs as well. But there are a lot of these guys who are just using AIs and bots to reply back and to get you to bind to their
yeah,
program,
I know.
right? Not
Yeah.
truly helping you.
No one's like these guys. The only thing they're looking for is
Yeah.
again, buy in, get a bot, get my book, buy this,
Yep.
buy that.
Yep.
Which,
Yep.
which, that's why it's like, hey, if I give my opinion, even if it's not popular, I really don't give a shit because
Yeah.
maybe 2, 3 of my real followers needed to hear that, right?
Correct. Yep.
And they needed to hear, hey, don't buy that fucking Airbnb because someone's telling you it's in the middle of Los Angeles, it's going to do well, but that's why you're
Right.
paying 10x. No, fuck that.
Right.
Walk away
Right.
from that shit.
Right.
Just don't do that, or don't do X, Y, and Z. But I'll tell you what I do think people should do, and I don't know if you are giving a course or if you are helping people. I really believe in this ADU situation in San Diego, and I really do believe that you're on the right track there, man. And it is the trend right now, and they should be milking that shit while it's still around.
Appreciate that, man. And I'm just trying to create awareness for people, man. I get it. It's not everywhere. ADU is only in certain cities and certain
Yeah,
states, right? And so it's a very niche play. But the people who have the opportunity, they should truly seek that opportunity and
yeah.
play this ADU play because it truly is a cash cow if you know how to utilize it correctly.
And you know what? I would say in most of the places in the country, municipalities, right? ADUs are allowed.
Yeah,
And even though
100%.
maybe they can't put fucking 15 of them,
Sure.
even if they put one, I'm
Yes.
talking about the guys that are in the middle class, upper middle class, or lower middle class, right? That own a home.
Right.
And a lot of these guys are a 2-income house,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And both the mother and the father are working.
Yep.
And every dollar fucking counts. And what I tell people always is, if you're living that way, then go out, get that 203K fucking loan. Or if it's not 203K,
Yeah.
Fannie Freddie, home style, whatever it's called. And if your municipality allows you to put that ADU there, it's worth every fucking penny. It's worth
bro.
every penny. It's worth
Yep.
it. Go out there. A, it's going to most likely increase the value of the property.
Yes.
Okay, that's A. B,
Yep.
it's going to bring that cash flow in
Yep.
every month. Where, you know what? If my mortgage is, even if the mortgage goes up in this case, right? It's not going to go up that much, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to pay for itself. So even if my mortgage goes up by $500, right? But
Yeah.
I'm collecting $1,500, $1,800. Shit, I'm
Yeah.
cash positive $1,300, right?
That's exactly how it is, bro. I mean, over here in San Diego or anywhere, you get an $800,000 home, you're paying $4 or $5,000 mortgage on that thing. But if
Yep.
you add an ADU in the back, just one, that's gonna spike your ARV, and then now you're gonna cash flow from the back unit right there. It's gonna bring in maybe 2 to 3,000 bucks a month. If you don't live in the front and you rent both out, now you're cash flowing positively, like you said, 1,500 to 2,000 bucks, bro.
That's
Easily.
fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if honestly, if
You
I
don't
was
have
in
to do the bonus program like what I'm doing.
you don't have to do the bonus. You don't have to even, like you said, you don't have to put 10 up where if you're living in the house. Put one up. Put one up. Collect that $1,800, and that $1,800 is going to offset your mortgage,
is.
and you take off that pressure. Because what people don't realize is, man, I would say right now, especially with everything going on with inflation and shit like that, 95% of the population is under that pressure every month, right?
Every month, bro.
And to bring in that extra cash flow, it's not a bad idea. And what's the best way and the easiest way to bring in that cash flow is through the ADU. It's through the ADU. Man. That's it. And like I said, I've done this enough for long enough where if Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and Ginnie Mae are allowing it, that means the majority, I would say 98% of municipalities, unless you're living in a luxurious place, right?
And you know what's the crazy part that's going to happen? And sorry to cut you out, dude.
No, it's okay.
Seattle's already done it. San Jose is doing it. They're condonizing these things.
I know, man.
A condo
I
map
know.
on
I
it.
do that for people up there. It's fucking crazy. It is
They're
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So let me just explain what you're saying is for the masses. What Kevin is saying is that what's happening in places like Washington and Oregon is when they're plotting that ADU now becomes a condominium. It is a real estate of its own.
It's a separate parcel on that number.
It's a separate parcel and everything.
Right?
Yeah. And it's becoming a dwelling in itself. It's separate dwelling from the main dwelling. And I agree. I think that that's going to happen at some point in California, or at least in some places in California.
San Jose has started that, and right now in San Diego, they have already started discussing bringing that program, which is the AB 1033, into play, which will allow us to sell these individually.
That's crazy. Once that happens, it's lights out. I mean, you're going to 20x your net profits.
I mean, right now we're already seeing like each unit being appraised at about $400,000 or $500,000 a unit.
That's crazy.
So,
and how much is it costing? How much is it costing you to put one up?
Well, I own my own construction company, so it costs me about $150 per square feet. For someone who's a real estate investor, it might cost them $250 per square feet, so roughly about $200,000-$300,000.
But
you're already doubling
$300,000. You just 2x your fucking investment.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
What's going to give you that?
No, nothing. Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere is going to give you that. I mean, you're 3xing, but even 2x is
it's amazing already.
It's fucking amazing. I don't know too many things that you could do that you're 2xing right away. You know?
Correct.
And this is what kills me. And again, I don't talk bad about other. I think it's important to diversify your investment portfolio, right?
Yeah.
I do think that it's important.
Correct.
Put a little bit in stocks.
Yep.
I hate to say this, but buy some crypto. Right?
You own crypto?
No.
No.
Well, I should. And
I don't either.
I should start buying some. We should start buying some.
I should too, yeah.
We should. Like I said, me and you, we should. Let's dabble a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing like fucking real estate. There's nothing like real estate. It just doesn't exist, man. It doesn't. It doesn't. And people, I made this. Well, fuck you. How about this? I made this and I didn't pay taxes on it. You can't say that.
That's the other thing, bro. Like, we're not even talking about tax.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? There was no
Most
other
people,
investment.
They make their money and 50% of their money is already gone.
It's gone.
It's like working free.
Yeah.
For that 50%.
Right? So they have capital gains and everything like that. And I tell them, well, when I'm making money, guess what I do? I do a cash out refinance, and guess how much taxes I pay on that? Nothing. Zero.
Nothing. 0.
Right? You're not cashing out of stocks.
Right.
You could borrow money against it, but you're on margin call. Fuck
Correct.
you up. You're on a tight leash there. You don't want to do
That's
that.
when we're talking about like a different strategy, and leveraging debt is another thing. I mean, that's a whole different topic conversation. But
But that's
nothing's like that.
But that's the thing about real estate. That's where we are, right? And that's
Yeah.
where you are, and that's where you're that's where you're going, right? So when you're saying over there, you put up 2 at 600,000, you just got 1.2 million added, right?
Yeah.
Refinance that out, even at 50 LTV. Guess what? You just got $600,000 in your pocket.
Yep.
And did they tax you 600,000? Nope.
I mean, look, they don't. And at the end of the day, I get it. Some people are hesitant because they see ground up construction. They think that's hard, or they see it being a 12-month play. They think it's too long.
Yeah,
Brother, 12 months making 600,000 is not. It's so worth it.
we're up to the April.
Yeah.
4 months into the year.
Exactly. Gone already, just like that.
How fast? It's like, it's crazy. Like I will, I'm giving 12-month, 18-month loans. And when people are paying off, people that I'm close to, that I have a relationship with, and like, oh, I'm looking for the payoff. I'm like, has it been 12 months already? Like, yeah, man, we're going on 8, month 11 or 12. I'm like, oh my God, that is like, seems like yesterday they borrowed the money,
Yeah.
It's just shocking to me. Like you said, people, it's like, show me another investment where you're 2xing your investment and it's taking 12 months. It doesn't exist.
Now, let me ask you, what do you see is happening in the market right now? Because the way I see it is like everyone's talking about a crash, everyone's talking about things falling apart. But to me, I think that's the best time to be buying, bro.
I want to tell you something. For me and you, is the best time. Because you want to know what? At least me, I have my blinders on like this, right?
Yeah.
Now, what tells me that there's not going to be a crash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? As smart as I am, and I'm really smart. I'm patting myself on the back, man. I am really fucking smart. And I'll tell you something better. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not going to be better at me in the mortgage business. It just doesn't, right? I'm Michael Jordan, in my opinion, for myself, and I'm allowed to think that way, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But I'll give you this: when I get on a call with places like PIMCO that are our partners, or Morgan Stanley, or Nomura, and places like that, and I understand, as smart as I am, those collectives are 10 times fucking smarter than me.
Yeah.
And when they're fucking bullish on something,
it means something.
Means something, right? And when they're bullish on our business, they're way smarter than the average fucking American.
Right.
They understand the markets way better than even me and you do. And we're in the trenches, right? Yeah. And when they're telling me, go, 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 we want to give you more money, there's something up.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a fucking no-brainer, because they're just smarter than we are as a collective, not individually, but as a collective. They have all these Ivy League guys sitting in a fucking room as a collective with analysis and this and that, and they're analyzing the shit out of everything. And let me tell you what, these motherfuckers are all scared to lose their jobs.
That's correct.
So when they come out and they put their balls on the line, they go, let's rock.
Yeah.
Me and you can't be wrong, right?
Yeah.
So when we wake up happy in the fucking morning, and it wasn't the case. And I'll tell you, like 3 years ago, they were very bearish. I'm like, we're not fucking, don't lend. Yeah. Stop lending, or slow the fuck down, right? Yep. And they were right. And maybe I thought back then, selfishly, like, no, you're wrong. Blah, blah, blah. No, they were fucking right. But now, when they're giving the green light and go to town, do what you need to do. So I don't believe the hype. The good thing is, it's good for me and you, because it keeps the business honest, right?
Right.
And I try to tell people, really good real estate investors are making money on a downturn, low markets, right? Because that's where they're picking up the best fucking deals
That's right, bro.
with meat on it.
Yeah.
It's when you go, and I knew there was going to be a crash, when you're sitting down and my Uber driver is talking about flipping homes. I told my brother, I was sitting in the car, I go, oh, this is like right before the last downturn. I go, man, we're fucked. This Uber driver is talking about, flipping a house. The market's going to fucking hell. And lo and behold, 3 months later, it went to hell, right?
Yeah.
We don't like that. You don't want to be competing with a fucking Uber driver. Do you? No. You don't want to. No offense to Uber drivers. I love Uber drivers, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
I get it. Yep.
You want your competition to be competent in what they're doing. And you want to know that you're going up against other professionals that aren't going to ruin your chances, or they're going to come in and you guys are going to compete, but you're going to compete with each other correctly, right?
Yeah, man.
Where
they're not going to just spike the price up on you for no goddamn reason.
Right. Where you're sitting there going, man, this guy is going to make nothing here, and I can't waste my time making nothing. And so that's where we make our money as investors, right?
Nah, man. I totally agree, dude. This is the time to buy when it's nice and flat. I see market kind of dipping a little bit, but it's also a great time to buy. Like you said, you're just not competing.
It's okay.
So I love it.
Even if the market dips a little bit, it's fine, because you know what it causes? It causes a fucking panic with the sellers, right? Yep. And that's the situation you want, and you want to go in and present it. Hey, buddy, I know you're expecting this, but here you go. These are the analytics, and the market's dipping. So I'm giving you a good deal. Right. And then the guy's going to think, oh, man, this guy's right. Right? And then he's going to listen to CNN, and he's going to listen to fucking NBC, and what they're going to tell him, it's doomsday.
It's doomsday.
It's doomsday. There's going to be a recession, and there's going to be a crash. Meanwhile, why would there be a crash? Could there be a correction? Yeah. 5%.
The thing, what I think people fail to realize is that real estate, just like any business, it's based off of demand and supply.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, we don't have the right amount of supply for the demand. Every year, we have over 2 million people that come into the United States, and there's not enough housing.
I agree.
We're not talking about affordable housing. We're just talking about housing.
8 million shortage of homes now. 8 million. 8 million homes.
Yeah.
Right?
And so when you look from a demand supply standpoint, bro, you're not going to lose in real estate.
You're not going to lose. You won't. Yeah. You're not going to. You just won't. Yeah. You just have to. If you're going to leverage yourself, this is the only time you're going to lose, is if you over leverage yourself, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
But if you don't over leverage yourself, you can't lose. Because then you could have the staying power, right? And if the market even dips, you go, I didn't over leverage myself. I can handle this, and I can handle these payments. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm going to be all right. And then you just weather the storm.
Yep.
And then it is what it is.
And that's why, like, when I take on properties and deals, I do for me comfortably. I don't over leverage, like what you're saying.
Right.
I do 4 to 5. That's my comfort number.
Right.
And I stick to that.
That's
I don't
good.
go above that. I don't go below, because below I won't make money.
Right.
But some people who's new to real estate investing, they have the FOMO effect. They're afraid of missing out on all these deals, so they want to buy everything.
Yeah. Right. And then they kill themselves.
They kill themselves. Bro.
And that's a problem. It's the fear of missing out, FOMO. You're right. And again, I say, bite as much as you can chew. When you get greedy and you take too many fucking bites, that's when you choke, right?
Yep.
And that's not a good way to invest, and that's very important.
That's not.
Everybody's got a different size plate. Know what the fucking plate size that you have, and just put enough food that you can eat. And then sometimes that plate's going to get bigger, and that's and then you put more food on it. But if it's overflowing, more than likely you're in a bad position.
Right.
And those are the only times I really see people lose, because people are like, oh, you know what? In a downturn market, you're going to lose your ass. Yeah, if you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I've been plenty of fucking downturn markets where I haven't lost my ass.
Yeah.
Have I lost some money? Yeah, I haven't gotten crushed. I know what my limitations are, but
Right.
then I know people that lose their lives. They've lost everything. I've known people,
Yeah.
why they've completely over leveraged themselves. They put too much food on the plate. They got greedy,
I agree.
you know? So anyway, I want to thank you, man, for coming on. Do you have any other questions for me? Anything else that you want to talk about?
I do, but let's say for the next one, I'm actually there on your location, Nashville,
Perfect. I
and
like that.
I
Yeah.
look forward to coming out and
Yeah.
visiting you in person and talking more and hashing it out. But I appreciate you having me coming on this one time, and then
I,
just doing
I
it
love it.
virtual.
You've been a great guest, Kevin, and again, I love working with you. You're a great borrower. We got we've done some good stuff together. I
Yeah,
hope to you know be able to be there to support you and help you grow more and do some more business together. And we'd love to have you here. Nashville's a great city, and you'll have some good times, and we'll get to hang out.
that and vice versa, bro. I mean, I would love to invite you back out to San Diego when the time allows, and for you to enjoy the weather here
I love it.
with 70.
I know it's
Yeah,
sunny and perfect, always in
sunny and
San
perfect,
Diego.
bro.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect, man. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you so much. This is episode 18 of the Game of Loans, and my friend, Kevin. See you later.
thanks, bud.
You've been listening to the Game of Loans, where real estate battles are fought and won. Make sure to fortify your defenses by subscribing. Cash flow is coming, and we'll be back next time to help you claim your throne. The war of wealth continues.